It is time to work again in the development of this Japanese maple tree that came from an air layer less than 4 years ago. This area is the subject of this video and I'll explain why in a few minutes. Every year this tree produces an exquisite root system, but this year it's a bit less dense, so either the tree decided to slow down a bit or that's the effect of leaving the tree under full sun all summer last season. The very fine brown roots on the top were probably produced inside the moss last autumn after the heat of the summer had passed. At this repotting, I'm going to try and lower the tree in the pot a lot, perhaps even at its final height, and that will help me enter the next stage of the development of the Nebari, and I will have more on this later. So I'll have to remove more of the bottom of the root system than usual. So while I refine the root system, let me explain. Anyone can easily identify a tree that recently came from an air layer. It's the steep change in direction from the trunk to the roots. While seedlings or young cuttings create early in their lives a more gradual transition. That is why I spent the first 3 years having the tree sitting a bit higher in the pot as to create a mound of roots spreading not only out but down as well before they eventually turn into a horizontal flat root system. That mound will eventually simulate of what a seedling of this size would look like and end up with a more natural nebari. while the front of the tree is left a bit behind in its development, probably because of the smaller distance between the trunk and the rim of the pot. I've left intentionally, bringing the tree a little bit forward. The back of the Nebari has developed fast, producing a lot of wood and looking honestly awesome. Here it is quite clear how much more developed the backside of the Nebari is. So I'll push the tree down, change the front ever so slightly as I explained in the previous video of this tree, and push the trunks towards the back a bit, gain some more room for the front of the Nebari to catch up. I don't know about you, but this looks very beautiful to me. So now you have to focus on this area of the tree during the montage of the past 4 years. Summer of 2021, just before I separate the air layer from the tree, and the secondary trunk is barely visible behind the main trunk. Next spring, the Nebari is clean and spread out, but you have to notice that in the transition there are only fine roots and no significant swelling of the trunk. Autumn of this year, just a season of growth later, and the base of the tree started to swell noticeably. Next spring, March of 2023, going through my repotting process, I keep the tree still in the larger training pot and quite high to develop that mount. You can clearly see that during the summer, in this larger pot, some roots have taken the lead, they have thickened, and the base of the trunk had to follow. Next spring, again the same procedure. You can see the base of the trunk that has started to swell extensively, following the major roots and started to look less than an air layer and more than a natural seedling. So now that the mount is established and solid, I can start developing a flat root system further out that will make this look 100% natural. Now I wish I could leave the tree like that, no moss cover, and be able to enjoy the contrast between the Nebari and the bright substrate, but unfortunately in my climate I'm better off with moss protecting the root system during the summer heat. By the way, I'm definitely happy with the height that the tree sits in the pot now, and I do consider this to be the final placement, so a major part of the root work is done. Thank you for your time.